What's going on, guys? It's Darkrai here, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, it is going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and throw a disclaimer out here right now. This is going to be a very negative video and a very negative reception on how I feel about the Halo franchise right now, how I feel about 343 Industries, and pretty much how I feel about Halo Infinite going forward. So if anybody has not been paying attention to the Halo Infinite news here as of recently, or has not cared to pay attention to it, I'm going to go ahead and just state some things right now that I think are very concerning, and I'm going to go ahead and get into that into this video. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it now. So the first thing on the list that I'm going to talk about today is the Halo Infinite co-op campaign was delayed until later Season 2, from what this article says right here. The campaign was delayed. Now, honestly, I was kind of expecting this sooner or later. I had hopes that it was going to release in Season 2 or it was going to release beforehand. But now that I know that the game was delayed once again, or not, excuse me, not the game, but the co-op campaign was delayed once again, it really just shows that there is a lot of things going on at 343 Industries that we're not being told about. And with the lack of transparency and how silent 343 has been here as of late about everything going on with Halo Infinite, or, you know, just updates or just content, stuff like that, it's amazing to me how 343 is continuing to delay items or just delay game modes, just delay, you know, co-op campaign, delay the Forge. I don't think Forge has been delayed yet, but it genuinely wouldn't surprise me if it got delayed soon. So now there's another thing that I also want to talk about is like the multiplayer leader at 343 Industries. I forget his name. I'll have a screenshot of him somewhere on the screen. He has also left 343 Industries, and he was the lead guy for multiplayer, basically. And, you know, a good majority of Halo players don't even play the campaign. They mostly just play they don't either play campaign or they play multiplayer. You have such a huge divide on these communities. So right now, the only people keeping the game alive right now is the matchmaking guys and the pro players and the big team battle guys and the campaign lovers, right? Myself included. I loved Halo Infinite's campaign. I actually genuinely enjoyed it. And for those who went into my live streams the other day, I was playing through the Halo 4 campaign, and I thought it was the most disappointing experience I've ever seen in a Halo game. I went into this campaign with a, you know, free open mind. You know, I went into this campaign thinking like, okay, how bad can this campaign really be? I've been hearing a lot of negative reception about it, and now I kind of understand why nobody likes the campaign of Halo 4. I'm getting ready to do Halo 5's campaign on stream, and it's going to be an interesting experience for sure. I am excited to play it, but also at the same time, I'm going into it with very, very low expectations going into Halo 4's campaign. But anyway, so there's a lot of things going on about the table right now about Halo Infinite, and it sucks to see the direction that this game is going in. A lot of people are leaving 343. There's a lot of new people that they're trying to hire and get on board. So worst chances are we're going to be going even longer without content. Or if anything comes to worst, Season 2 might be delayed. That is what I'm expecting to happen in the near future, is Season 2 entirely to be delayed and just no new content for months on end. And it's kind of concerning for me because it also raises a red flag to me because, again, I am a diehard Halo fan. I have been playing the game. I've been playing the franchise since the first game. It's like I said this on stream the other day, but I remember having a very awful laptop at the time. It was like a Windows Vista. Now, for those who are not aware of Windows Vista is an awful Windows service. You know, it was awful. One of the worst they've ever released. But then again, they came out with Windows 8. They didn't learn any of their mistakes. So Windows 8 and Windows Vista, for moral of the story, is like they were a very awful service for Windows, I should say. They were just awful in general. And the fact that I had a Windows Vista laptop at the time shows you how old I am and how long I've been playing the Halo games. Let me get back to the story. I remember having a very awful laptop at the time, but it was good enough to play Halo Combat Evolved. And that was my first ever multiplayer experience. I was gonna say it was COD 4 for the longest time, but then I remembered, Halo Combat Evolved was the first ever multiplayer experience, like quote unquote online multiplayer experience I ever had in a multiplayer shooter. And so Halo Combat Evolved, I remember just playing it for hours, either just playing the campaign or just going on multiplayer, entering these custom servers. It was just literally the greatest time ever. And those were memories that I will forever cherish, because those were when times were more simpler, and that's when Halo was more simpler, and everybody loved Halo. I mean, Halo had their own set of controversies back in the day, but they're not as bad as they are today. And, with the case of modern gaming, with how bad Call of Duty Vanguard, how bad that game just shit the bed. And then Battlefield 2042, that game was a downright disaster even before it launched. The beta for 2042 was the worst beta experience, or overall worst gaming experience I have ever had in a game, ever. And that says a lot, considering I've played some pretty bad games in my time. But to go as far as to say a multi-billion-dollar company such as EA, who blamed Halo Infinite for 2042's awful launch, and instead did not take any accountability for their own actions of the game being shitty, that just goes to show how incompetent of a dev team they are. But anyway, the moral of the story is 343 Industries, I have faith in them. I want to continue to have faith in these guys, and I want to continue to prosper and advance into the gaming scene, especially with 2022 now here. And we got games like Elden Ring. We have God of War coming out. There's a lot of games that are coming out this year, and these games are going to pretty much kill Halo Infinite. With how bad the player base on Halo Infinite is right now on the PC version alone, I can't imagine what it's going to be like when these games release. Elden Ring is already out, and a lot of people are still loving it and still praising it. It's one of the top games on Twitch still, which is normal for a new game to come out. There's still a lot of content creators making videos on the game, like FaZe Jeff, for example. PewDiePie just did a live stream of Elden Ring not that long ago. So Elden Ring is a big game, right? It is a very big game right now. Then we have games like Lost Ark on the PC that came out, and that game blew up right away. It was a success. Excuse me, I can't even say that word. Successful game right out the gate. And Halo Infinite had a very strong launch. It did. It launched with 256,000 all-time peak players on PC. Guarantee you, even on the Xbox Series X, S, and One, it is still doing phenomenal over there. I guarantee you it's still doing okay. There's still a lot of people every single day playing this game. But the hype and everything for the game has died down tremendously because there is no content for the game. Right? There's just no content for the game. Like, nobody is staying interested in the game. There's nothing worth grinding for. And another thing that I have so much problems with right now with the game, it just makes me not want to play the game. If there was a little bit more content in the game, or there was something worth grinding for, and if the progression system in this game wasn't slower than a goddamn snail, I wouldn't be in this situation. I would be playing Halo Infinite every single day. I know I would. Now, here's the thing with me and Halo Infinite. I love Halo Infinite, right? It's the best game of Halo 343 has made in a long time, or I think ever, because Halo 4 I didn't think was all that bad, but it had a lot of controversies and the campaign was disappointing. And I thought Halo Infinite's campaign was phenomenal. It had its little cheesy moments. It had some parts of the campaign that I thought were just really tedious and repetitive. But overall, I really enjoyed Halo Infinite's campaign compared to Halo 4. And of course, I'm going to wait and see how I feel about Halo 5's campaign. But we're tuned in for the stream on that one. I don't know when I'm going to do that stream, but I know I'm eventually going to do it. So I just want to point that out to you guys. But anyway, the moral of the story is right now, 343 is in a lot of trouble. And right now, Halo Infinite is already in damage control and trying to bring the players back, which is really sad to think about considering this game is only 3 months old. And it's going on 4 months old. And now the game is already in recovery mode and damage control. And that says a lot about the dev team. That says a lot about them. But, a lot of people just give 343 a lot of unnecessary shit. And rightfully so. I get it. 343 does some things that I'm not happy to say that I support. I don't. There's some business practices in the gaming scene that I will not support all the way. And a lot of people will say, Halo Infinite is a free game. The cosmetics need to cost something. But instead of just like making it to like where we cave in because we're so desperate for new cosmetics and items in the game that we spend money. That's not how that should work, right? Halo 3 and Halo Reach, in my opinion, had the best progression systems and the best armor customization in any Halo game ever. I cannot speak today. Customization, right? Customization. So honestly, it's getting to a point where I just wish 343 would copy Halo Reach's and 3's progression system and customization options and just convert it straight into Halo Infinite. That way we would have a ton more content in the game and just give something players want to grind for. My problem with Halo Infinite right now is not because of the lack of progression or the lack of game modes. I think there's enough content in the game that would keep me entertained for a while, right? Because when the game first came out, I played it for 2 months straight. That was all I was playing. I was playing ranked. I was playing big team battle when it worked, of course. I was playing, I was doing the bot quick play to just get some challenges done because it was easier on there. Everybody was doing it. And I genuinely had a lot of fun with Halo Infinite. I still have fun with the game today. But the problem is, it's just there's nothing worth to grind for. The biggest part of Halo for me in the multiplayer aspect was grinding for armor customization, like armor variants, CQB and all those other things, man. Just like how Halo 3 and Halo Reach were. Those games were the peak of customization and grinding in Halo. That's why I still go back and play Halo 3 and Reach every single day. Granted, I have the MCC on my Xbox Series X. I play it almost every single day. And, I want to continue doing that for the MCC because with the legacy servers of the Xbox 360 being shut down for all the Halo games, I have no choice to go back to the MCC and play them. Granted, I rebought a 360 just to play Halo 3 one last time. I'll have a clip of it on the screen right now for that I was actually playing on the 360. And just to experience it one last time before it went down. So, but anyway, man, this video has been going on quite a long time. There's a lot of things going on right now with Halo Infinite, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents in on why I think the game is failing right now. I wouldn't necessarily say it's failing. The game is just dying out in popularity because there's nothing in the game worth playing. Pretty much if you are a pro player or you like big team battle so much, like myself, I love big team battle, but with the lack of maps on BTB makes it very hard to keep coming back and playing. And there's just no different game modes for it. It's either capture the flag or you have to get these, I forget what they're called, but you have to grab these things and get them back to your objective. And it's so easily exploitive because of how many of them spawn. But overall, it's just insane to me how this game is just trying so hard to stay afloat, and it feels like 343 is not even trying. And something's going on in the studio. Something is definitely going on for all these people to be leaving. I think even the lead sandbox designer for Halo Infinite left as well, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that one. I don't think that one is true. I just read that in an article and I'm not sure if that's true or not, but if it is, that's another red flag, So it may be even longer before we get any more content in this game, and that's crazy to think about, that we could go even more months without content. But anyway, boys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off this video here. I just wanted to give my 2 cents and a little bit of a rant about Halo Infinite. It's like I said, at the moral of the story of this video is I still love Halo Infinite. I still love Halo. It's just very frustrating to be a Halo fan right now, as there's just no content for the game. And there's just nothing worth playing the game for. And it makes me sad to say, but Halo Infinite has got to do a massive update overhaul for bug fixes, desync issues, because the game has desync issues as well. You feel like you put a whole clip into somebody and they still don't die, and then you end up losing the gunfight. It has a lot of desync and hit detection issues as well. I think they fixed some of it a little bit, and they fixed some of the server problems as well. But they still got a long way to go if they want this game to thrive for the next 10 years, as they're saying. Is it like going to be a live service game? And it's like everybody else is saying, for a live service game, you guys are not providing the service. They're not providing it fast enough. And, fans are starting to lose hope. Even the pro players are getting burnt out and just getting sick of the game in the state that it's in. So 343, like I said, they got to do a massive overhaul. Pretty much the next update or these next couple of months are going to decide this game's fate and pretty much decide if people are going to keep playing or not keep playing, or just go back to the older Halo games or just move on to something else that comes out this year. Because it's like I said, Elden Ring came out not too long ago. And then we got God of War coming out. We just got big budget titles coming out this year. And if 343 wants to continue to make Halo Infinite thrive, they literally have to do the biggest update and overhaul of their life if they want this game to thrive. But anyway, boys, this video has been going on long enough. I just wanted to give you guys my opinion and my rant on everything going on with Halo Infinite right now. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and you guys have a great rest of your day.